Hello my dear students and welcome back to the lesson Reflection of Light. Last time I have mentioned to you about some of the properties of the light and even I have told you about the types of the mirror. So today we are going to focus on how is the image formation in the plane mirror. Okay. Now every day you might be standing in front of the plane mirror and watching yourself, right? So when we stand in front of the mirror, we see a clear image of ourselves in the plane mirror. Fine. Now to understand how an image is formed in a plane mirror, first we need to learn about how the image is formed in the mirror. Okay, so for that first we will take a point source like you can say a laser torch or so can be considered as the point source. Now from this point source the light can travel in all the directions. Okay, remember if you take a point source the light will be traveling in all the directions. Okay, so light rays travel in all the direction from such a source. So several of these rays fall on the mirror. Suppose there is a mirror in front of this point source. Several of these rays will be falling on the mirror and they will be getting reflected back from the mirror. Since mirror is a reflecting surface, the rays which are falling from this point source will be reflected from this mirror and then finally they will be reaching our eyes. So if we observe that point source, it will be reaching our eyes and therefore we are able to see this point source. Okay, now let us consider a point source. So when we try to see this point source appears to be coming from the mirror, and actually it is not the object or not the point source which is outside the mirror, but it is the image of the point source which is formed behind the mirror. Now due to reflection of this point source, it appears to be coming from the mirror, and this point which you see with the help of your eyes is nothing but the image of the point source. Now let us try to find out if such a point source is placed in front of the mirror. Let's suppose we call it as M1 and M2. What will happen? So let the point source be O over here and try to find out how is the image of this point source formed behind a mirror. Okay, so let O be the point source and M1 and M2 be the mirror. So several of these rays will be falling on the mirror, that is of the point source. Now let's suppose these two rays are incident rays. Incident means those rays which are falling on the mirror are called as incident rays. So incident rays, let's suppose we take two incident rays, that is one is OR1 and the other is OR2, and they get reflected according to the law of reflection. Okay, they get reflected along the paths. You can see that OR1 and OR2 will be getting reflected along the paths R1, R1S1 and R2S2. When these reflected rays, if we try to extend them, okay, behind the mirror, we find that they will be meeting at a point called as O1. Now when seen from E, that means when you are observing it from the other side, you find that the rays appear to be coming from O1. You find that when you observe like that, you find or feel that these rays are coming from the point O1. So thus point O1 is actually the image of the point O. Okay, so you understand over here that when O, which is a point source, it gives the light rays in all the directions, and some of them are falling on the mirror. They get reflected according to the law of reflection along the paths which are shown over here. And if the same reflected rays after the reflection, if we try to extend them behind the mirror like this, we find that they appear to be coming from the point O1, and that point O1 is actually the image of the point O which is placed in front of the mirror. Is that clear? I hope so you have understood this. Now these rays actually, what we are taking them behind, are not meeting behind a mirror. Okay, remember these reflected rays which we are trying to take them, extend them behind a mirror, actually do not meet, and therefore such an image is called as a virtual image. Remember, these rays, reflected rays, when you try to extend them behind the mirror, okay, you are assuming it, but they actually do not meet. So therefore such type of rays, when you are getting an image like this type of image is called as virtual image. So the image which is formed behind a mirror is also called as a virtual image. Fine. Now the perpendicular distance of the image from the mirror. Okay, the image from the mirror. Now here the image is now what? O1 is the image. And if we try to draw a perpendicular distance from M1 to O1, okay, so this distance which we are taking, that is M1 O1, is equal to the distance from the object O and M1. Okay, so you find that the perpendicular distance, if you try to draw a line from M1 to O1, that is from image to the mirror or from the image to the mirror, you find that it is the same distance as that of the object in the mirror. That means at whatever distance you keep the object in front of the mirror, at same distance the image will be formed behind the mirror. So that I just want to explain to you. Remember that whatever is the distance of the object from the mirror, the same distance, at the same distance image will be also formed behind the mirror. That should be noted down. Now, this is regarding the point source. Now, let us take an example of an extended source like a pencil. Okay, we will take an example of an extended source. Why it is called as extended source? Because it has many points on it. We have taken only one point now. We will take now an extended source like this. Okay, so you can see in this picture which I have placed here, you can see there is an extended source and the image is also formed, that is virtual image is formed behind a mirror of that same extended source. Now how this is happening, let us try to find out. So if we place an object, extended source in front of the mirror like this, like suppose here it is a pencil which is there. Now if we keep a pencil in front of the mirror, which is an extended, so larger source as compared to that of the point source, how is the image formed? Okay, let's suppose this pencil, we'll name it as P and Q. The point, the pencil tip is the point P and this blunt end is point Q, and it is placed in front of the mirror M1 and M2. Now what is happening when the object is placed, this extended source which is over here, a pencil is kept in front of the mirror, how is the image formed? Okay, now from the side view you can see the image is of point Q and point P and Q are formed at point P1 and Q1. You can see the side view of the if you just try to find it this way, we can find that the image of the point P is exactly at point P1 in the mirror and the point Q is at the point Q1. Fine. So whatever is whatever you place in front of the mirror, the same, I mean the plane mirror, exactly that same point will be formed. Okay, so as shown over here, now that you have learned about that the image of point P is formed at P1 and Q is formed at Q1. Similarly, there are innumerable points between this point, that is point P and Q. There are innumerable points. So the image of these, each one of these points will be formed behind a mirror in between P1 and Q1. So from P to Q, the images of each of these points will be formed behind a mirror at P1 and Q1 respectively, and therefore we are getting an image clearly in the mirror. Okay, whatever you place, the same image will be formed behind a mirror. Fine. So image, therefore from this we can conclude that the image which is formed by a plane mirror is of the same size as that of the source. Okay, now let me show you a small activity which I am going to perform in front of you. Look at this mirror now, plane mirror, which I have kept here in front of this. You can see this pencil. Okay, if I try, you can see the image of this, of the pencil is appearing same. You can even see my mobile, what I am shooting right now. It is at the same distance as well as, of the same size what is shown here. You can see the pencil which I am touching here right now. You can see the way I am moving the pencil, the same way the image of that pencil will be formed. You can see at the same distance also you can see. Fine. So this is how the image is formed in the plane mirror. So from this now we come to know one characteristic of the plane mirror. It is that the first one is that the image formed by a plane mirror is of the same size as that of the object or as that of the source, whatever is placed in front of it. Now let us try to find out something more about the plane mirror, another characteristic of the plane mirror. Now you might have seen sometimes that you raise your right hand and it appears to be your left hand in front in the plane mirror. Now why this is happening, let us try to find out. So for that we will do a small activity here. You need to try to write ABCD or any letters or any words on the piece of paper and place it in front of the plane mirror. You find that these letters appear to be inverted. Okay, they are inverted, laterally inverted. Okay, so we see laterally inverted letters in the mirror. Now why this is happening? It's because the image which is formed by a plane mirror is one virtual, that is it appears to be coming from behind a mirror. Okay, next it is upright. Okay, if you hold a pencil in this way, it will remain in this way only. Okay, erect, it is also called as erect. It is what if you just place the pencil in this manner, it will not appear this way in the plane mirror, not inverted, it will be upright. Okay, upright or erect. Third thing is that it is of the same size as that of the object. Now look at this picture. You can see the different letters here. Now A appears, this side is the A. That's why it appears to be on that side only. Fine. Whereas the G is on the other side of the paper. That is why G appears in the mirror also on that same side. Fine. And therefore why it is happening, it's because the image of every point on the letters which you have taken here is formed behind the mirror at the same distance from the mirror as the point itself. Suppose if you are taking a letter A now here, now image of this letter A is formed behind the mirror at the same distance where A is placed on the piece of paper, right, at the same distance from the mirror as the point itself, and this is only called as lateral inversion. Fine. So this is another property of the plane mirror. Okay, let us now see how some of the letters, if you see, are not inverted. Okay, you might have learned about the symmetry. okay, in your geometry, right? So here you can see some of the letters have not changed at all in the mirror. Which are these letters? You can see that A, letter I, H, M, O, then T, U, V, W, X, as well as Y. All these letters appear to be same. Isn't it interesting? Yes. Okay, because they have the symmetry. Okay, since they are symmetrical, they appear to be same inside the mirror. They do not appear to be laterally inverted. Fine. They are laterally inverted because right appears left and left appears right. So this is regarding another property of the plane mirror. So let us try to summarize now what we have learned. Now what we have learned in this is the characteristics of the image obtained in a plane mirror are: first, the image is erect. Okay, it is not inverted, it is erect. Second, the size of the image is equal to that of the person. Now you can see a person over here which is standing. So the height of the person will be shown same. It will not appear to be a dwarf or very tall person. It is of the same size as that of the person. Then third thing is the image is as far behind the mirror as the person is in front of the mirror. Now if you try to go like this, the image also will be formed at the same distance. If you can't try to come closer, image also will be formed closer in the mirror. Fine. So fourth thing is that the image is laterally inverted. That means the left appears right and right appears left in the plane plane mirror. Last thing is the image is virtual. That means it is appearing to be coming from the point source behind the mirror, and therefore it is also called as virtual image. Now this is regarding how images are formed in the plane mirror. Now let us try to do a small activity. I have recorded one video. You just watch that video now.
Here are two plane mirrors. Now let us see what happens when two plane mirrors are kept at different angles. How many images are formed when two mirrors are kept at different angles? For this, we require to take a plain paper, and on that plain paper we have to plot the angles, so that we can keep the two mirrors at different angles. So you can see that I have marked here ray A, ray B, C and D. Ray A and D are perpendicular, that means at 90 degree, whereas C is at 60 degree and B is at 30 degree. We will also take later on 45 and 120 degree and count the number of images formed. First, two plane mirrors placed at angle perpendicular to each other, or you can say 90 degree. You can see that I have kept one at A and the other at D. That means at 90 degree. Now I am placing a coin in between so that to find out how many images will be formed when the two plane mirrors are kept at angle of 90 degree. You can clearly see that there are three images of the coin in the plane mirrors kept at angle of 90 degree. Okay, so how many images are there? Three images you can see inside the mirror when the plane mirrors are kept at an angle of 90 degree. Let us now move on to 60 degree. Let me change the angle to 60 degree. Now, when the two plane mirrors are kept at an angle of 60 degree, let us try to find out how many images are formed. Now, the two plane mirrors are kept at an angle of 60 and I am placing the coin. Now let us count how many images are formed. So you can see over here around 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 images are formed when the two plane mirrors are kept at an angle of 60 degree. Now let us proceed with 30 degree angle. Remember, 90 degree we got 3 images, whereas 60 degree we got 5 images. Let us proceed now with 30 degree. Now I have placed the two plane mirrors at 30-degree angle, and even I have placed the coin in between the two mirrors. Let us count the number of coins or number of images formed inside the two plane mirrors. So let us count. Here we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in between, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11 images. So altogether 11 images are formed when the two plane mirrors are kept at an angle of 30 degree. So let us now see when the two plane mirrors are kept at angle of 45 degree, how many images are formed. Now the two mirrors are kept at an angle of 45 degree. Let us try to count the number of images which are formed. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Okay, you can see one is hiding there. 1, 2, 3, 4 this side and 4 this side. So total 8 images are formed when the two plane mirrors are kept at an angle of 45 degree. Now we will even see when the two mirrors are kept at angles of 120 degree, how many images are formed. Now you can see that this is 90 degree. Now I have changed the angle to 120 degree. That means 20 degrees I have increased. You can see this is A. A means A and D represents 90 degrees. So I have taken 20 degree more. So that means it is 120 degree. And let us see now how many images are formed when the coin is kept in front of the two plane mirrors kept at angle of 120. You can count easily. There are only 2 images which are formed. Okay, so this is regarding the practical activity. We will see even find the relationship between the practical activity and theoretically.
Now that we have learned about how many images are formed when the two mirrors are kept at an angle. Okay, you can see the summary of this over here, that at 90 degree 3 images are formed, 60 degree 5, 30 degree 11, 45 degree 7 and 120 around 2 images are formed. Correct? Now let us see whether there is a relationship between the number of images, okay, number related to the measure of the angle. Okay, by you will have a small formula for this. So let us see what is that formula. So that formula over here is n is equal to 360 degree upon a minus 1, where n is the number of images which are formed and a is the angle between the mirrors. Fine. So now let us see at each of these angles whether this formula holds correct or not. Okay, so when the angle is 90 degree, how many images are formed by the formula we will find, and whether it is corresponding to the image which is formed practically. If you see over here, if we take the angle 90 degree and if we try to substitute in place of a, that is 360 degree upon 90 minus 1, if we do 360 upon 90 will come as 4. When you divide 360 by 90, you will get the answer 4. 4 minus 1 is equal to 3. So isn't it amazing that practical activity you got 3 images? The same way over by the formula also you can find out how many images can be formed when the two plane mirrors are kept at different angles. Fine. So 3 images will be formed. Now let us see when the image, the angle is around 60 degree, how many are images are formed by using the formula. Suppose if it is 60 degree, then 360 degree minus 60 upon 60 minus 1 will be 6 minus 1, that is 36 divided by 6. If you do, you are getting 6. So 6 minus 1 is equal to 5. Then we are having another one, that is 30 degree. You have counted the number of images as 11. Now by using the formula also, if you find 360 upon 30, the answer comes to 12. So 12 minus 1 comes to 11. So it is correct, right? Even for 45 and 120 degree, we have also found practically for 45 degree, we are getting 7 images, and that of the 120 degree is 2 images. So you can see over here also there are 7 images and 2 images formed by using, can be found by using the formula. Now, this is regarding when the two plane mirrors are kept at an angle. Now, if these same plane mirrors are kept, parallel to each other, how many images are formed? Okay. Now, this you might have seen when you have gone to a barber shop. Now, barber, when he is doing a haircut, okay, after he finishes his haircut means your haircut, I'm sorry. So, he will be keeping one mirror behind you, and you will be observing in front of your, whatever mirror is there in front of you. You will be observing in that, right? So, you'll find that when you are observing behind, the image of your head will be formed in front, and you will find that there are so many images formed in front of you, of your head behind, correct? So why? It's because there there is multiple reflection taking place in the two plane mirrors when they are kept parallel to each other. Okay, fine. So isn't it interesting, dear students, that when the two plane mirrors are kept in front of each other, that is parallel to each other, you will get infinite number of images. So this is regarding the image formation in the plane mirror. Okay, so next time we are going